night.
OK, that's John Ryder, and he was in action on ITV Box Office in February on the Eubank-Quinlan undercard. That night, the North Londoner won a points decision against Adam Etches, but has since lost to Rocky Fielding in a split decision as he lost out on the British super middleweight title for a third time. His opponent tonight, the Danish fighter Patrick Nielson, who's ranked #1 by the WBA, and victory tonight for Ryder would represent his best win to date against a fighter who was very aggrieved to have been overlooked for a world title shot against David Benavides in the summer. This super middleweight contest is scheduled for 10 rounds, so time now to hand back to Ronald and Richie at Wembley.
And from John Ryder's perspective, opportunity has come knocking in the form of this man, Patrick Nielson, the 26-year-old from Denmark, #1 ranked WBA contender, contesting his 31st professional contest tonight. Brings to the ring a record of 29 victories and just 1 defeat. That when challenging for an interim world title down at the 160-pound middleweight division. He's put together 7 wins on the spin since then. This will be his second outing of 2017.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 3 judges scoring this fight at ringside will be Dave Paris, Howard Foster, and Terry O'Connor. Third man in the ring will be our referee, Bob Williams. Introducing to first the fighter in the red corner, wearing white and black with silver trim, weighing 11 stone, 12 pounds, 8 ounces. His record stands at 28 fights, 24 victories and 4 defeats, including 12 KO wins. He's the former WBO Intercontinental and WBA and IBF International Champion, fighting out of Islington, London. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Gorilla, John Ryder. And introducing his opponent in the blue corner, wearing black trunks, he weighs 11 stone, 13 pounds, 4 ounces. He enters the ring with 30 fights, 29 wins and 1 defeat, including 14 KO victories. He's a former world title challenger, hailing from Copenhagen, Denmark. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Patrick Nielson.
Seconds out.
So we're underway in the super middleweight division. This battle of southpaw scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds. The boxer wearing the predominantly black trunks is the visiting fighter from Copenhagen in Denmark, the #1 ranked WBA contender. That is Patrick Nielson, 26 years of age, and his opponent wearing the white trunks trimmed with silver and black, who's just taken a good southpaw left. He's John Ryder, nicknamed the Gorilla, 29 years of age now, competing in his 29th professional contest tonight and looking to bounce back after losing a split decision in his 3rd bid for a British title, and he's still in search of that coveted domestic crown. He said that's the title that he really wants. But when this opportunity presented itself, well, he said it was one that was simply too good to turn down, was ticking over in the gym. And Patrick Nielson, the substitute for the World Boxing Super Series, so in the event that one of the boxers got injured in the main event tonight, Nielson would have been called into the main event. So he's going to be prepared and battle ready for a 12-round contest, even though this one's scheduled for 10, and he started this one aggressively.
The carrot's dangled for both boxers here, isn't it? Nielson obviously looking for opportunities at world level, but also John Ryder. Solid performer is John. He's got to be a little bit busy here today, Ronald. He's got to move his head a lot more and try and get on the inside. Nielsen, early on, is using his jab, and I think they've done their homework, the Danes here. They want to keep their man at bay behind that jab, keep his opponent boxing at distance. But Ryder got to move the head in quick with the feet, try and get that on the inside, then work his opponent's body. So interesting clash of styles here, but both are taking shots. That's a good shot from Ryder on the inside, but he also just got caught with that left hand from Nielsen.
But then look at the combination of punches being put together by Ryder. Terrific back and forth action in this opening round as the jabs are exchanged. And what a contest this one promises to be. Ryder says even though Nielsen has that lofty WBA ranking, he feels that this is a contest that he can win and win well.
Nielsen's making some mistakes here, Ronald. He's been caught a couple of times now. He's leading with his jab, but he's falling into Ryder, and Ryder's catching him with that lovely right hook, just sitting back and just bringing him onto that shot, teeing him up with the jab. Nielsen's just got to sit back a little bit more after that jab. He's moving too close and too far forward after he's thrown it. He's falling in and getting caught, so he nearly gets caught again there.
Ryder, a wonderful boxer in just about every phase of attack. Long range, short range, can bring arcing punches through on the inside as well. He's operated at domestic level throughout his career. The question is, does this represent a step up? If so, how big is it?
Listen, keep your feet in that centre of the ring, right? Then you move round, yeah? You've got faster hands in him. Good jab. Får du til at køre, lad være at spænde op. Bare kom til at køre. Nu efter.
I think that's a fair round from Ryder. Opening round worked well with his jab there, but also he landed some good right hooks on the inside. But you heard Tony Sims in that corner there. He's fairly happy. Lovely left uppercut on the inside also from Ryder. Nielsen worked well with his jab early on in the round, but then kept falling in and walking onto shots. Good round for Ryder.
Comes up. Seconds out, round 2.
Into the second round then. Both boxers enjoyed moments of success in the first 3 minutes, but as the round progressed, well, the greater volume of punches and the more eye-catching work was coming from the man whose pink belt protector is just visible above his belt line. John Ryder, nicknamed the Gorilla, a moniker given to him by the man just been awarded in British Boxing Writers Board of Control prizes this year. Robert McCracken gave him that moniker, the man who heads up the GB Olympic program, and indeed is the coach of Anthony Joshua because of his immense physical strength. It's not a name that Ryder is overly fond of because he says that he has a good boxing brain, and he's on the front foot, forcing Nielsen to the perimeter of the boxing ring at this point of the second round, and comes forward with another good combination once again before tucking up tightly behind his shoulder.
Well, the better work's definitely coming from Ryder, Ron. Certainly on the inside, some nice left uppercuts. He's working well with his jab. I think Nielsen is realising he's got to keep a gap between himself and Ryder. But if he doesn't land with that jab, Nielsen, if it's inaccurate, he misses the target, Ryder comes back with a fast counter. You know, it's good boxing from Ryder when Nielsen misses the target. So he's probably just got to move his head, slip the shot, and then come back with the counters. But I think Nielsen, he's finally realising that he's got to keep a gap here.
Nielsen fighting outside of Denmark for just the 5th time tonight as he takes another stiff right jab. Ryder now bringing the southpaw left into play as well. We mentioned just towards the conclusion of the first round whether this does indeed represent a step up. Nielsen ranked #1 with the WBA, but according to Ryder and his way of looking at things, he said that he's been well matched. All but 4 of his contests to this point taking place in Denmark. He's fought twice in Germany, once in Finland and once in Russia in that losing bid for the WBA interim middleweight title. So Ryder just intimating that he's been well maneuvered through the business of professional boxing. That's lovely defensive work from Ryder, just slipping, turning sideways and protecting his chin with the shoulder.
Yeah, good work there. And again, Nielsen I spoke about that accuracy earlier on, and there was an example of it, just missing the target with the shots. He's trying to stay busy, he's trying to keep that gap, but that jab isn't really getting home for me. And Ryder is blocking a lot. And the more accurate work's coming from Ryder.
Right hand to the body was a good shot, but then look at the left hook and uppercut success from Ryder, and Nielsen is forced to hold on. So even though... Oh! The right hand has dislodged the mouthpiece and sent Nielsen down to the canvas. Referee Bob Williams tolling the 8 count. Does Nielsen know where he is? Makes his way back to his own red corner. Excuse me, to Ryder's red corner. That was an absolutely thunderous shot. And we have to question, does Patrick Nielsen know where he is?
Tremendous work from Ryder again on the inside. We spoke about it earlier, about this right hook. So this fella here is in trouble a bit, but a terrific round from Ryder. Peach of a punch, right hook on the inside. He's been throwing it 2 or 3 times in that round and in the previous round. Little uppercuts here, look, on the inside. Better inside work. Actually, the left uppercut to the body, and then he finishes on that right hook to the head. 2 great shots, switching the attack. Body to head. Let's have a look at it here. Left hook there, right hook to the chin. Great shot.
So we're underway in round number 3. The final action of round 2 saw Patrick Nielsen drilled down to the canvas, and Ryder has immediately got onto the front foot, going in pursuit of his 13th stoppage victory. Has the minute's intermission been enough for Ryder to recover his senses and restore his energy levels? He's being caught by that right hook once again. And Ryder absolutely burgeoning confidence, bobbing and weaving on the inside, feinting and unerringly accurate with his punch picking.
Tough job now, Ron, for Nielsen, both physically and mentally. Physically, he's getting weaker and weaker, still making mistakes, getting caught, but mentally also. He's starting to break down here, Nielsen. He's got to get through this. This is, again, a positive round for Ryder. The confidence in him, you can just see it. Much the busier man on the inside, catching his opponent with good shots downstairs.
Targeting both the head and body effectively, and in stark contrast, Nielsen being made to look lumbering in comparison. Comes forward with a fusillade of punches, but all of them wide of the mark. Nielsen continuing to bob and weave and circle with his hands as he looks to launch his own offense. Nielsen coming square on the ropes, trying to fight off the strand, but look at the uppercuts getting through, and that left uppercut jolted the head back of Nielsen, and he's forced to hold on and walk his man back out to center ring.
Yeah, he was just trying to take a bit of a rest there, wasn't he? Nielsen on the ropes, but his feet come square, as most boxers' feet do when they're on the ropes, and then you're wide open, aren't you? And Ryder takes advantage, left uppercuts through the middle. Again, he's just steadily breaking his opponent down behind that jab. Right hooks on the inside, left uppercuts through the middle. There's a bad bit of damage now on the right eye of Nielsen as well, just below his right eye.
Yep, that's beginning to swell. The nose is gone, so he's going to have difficulty breathing as another left hook ripped through the middle from Ryder. And now Nielsen holding his man's head and leaning down on him, trying to wear out Ryder in that respect, because when he said any type of distance whatsoever, principally short and mid-range, especially short and mid-range, well, Ryder is proving to be the governor. On the front foot, another marauding attack. Right hook was the lead shot, and he's teeing off at short range with arcing punches once again.
Yeah, it was a good attack, wasn't it, that hook? Fast feet in, and the hook around the guard of his opponent. And this is where he's the governor, John Ryder, on the inside there. Much the better work. Where his right shoulder is, just protecting himself there and just into his opponent, and that's where he launches his hooks and his left uppercuts. Well schooled on the inside is John Ryder, good inside boxer indeed.
Good work, mate. All you got to do to win this fight, right? Yeah. You'll work hard here. Listen, the shot you're catching here. Hvis det ikke får, hvis der fortsætter sådan her, så får der ikke lov mere. Ja. Er du med? Ja. Prøv lige at høre her. Det eneste er, han går efter nu, der kommer ind og tryner med det sving, højre sving. Den der skal sidde på plads. Ja.
Bad round for Nielson. Gets caught in the corner here.
Kom nu. Kom nu.
There's that left uppercut from John Ryder. Right hook around the guard also. Just keeping his head to the one side and looking for the openings. Very good on the inside. Short range work from Ryder. Whipping the shots in. Good round for Ryder.
Seconds out, round 4.
As we begin round 4, Nielsen's right eye is swelling rapidly. Saw the end swell iron being applied by CJ Hussain over in that blue corner. Trying to reduce the swelling, push it to another part of Nielsen's face. But to add to his problems, he's becoming a one-eyed fighter. And the left hook has been a primary weapon in John Ryder's arsenal. And if he can't see that coming, as that right eye continues to close, well, it's going to be even more difficult, the task that he's facing, Patrick Nielsen. Ryder will be aware of that. This battle of southpaws. He's looking to launch that backhand and build upon the success that he's had with it in the 3 rounds to this point. Beautiful corkscrew right hand from Ryder. And it comes forward with a strong left cross. Well, Nielsen skipped neatly to the space of centre ring. He's trying to establish his own straight shots now. But one's left with the feeling that this is something, even though it's only the 4th round, something of a last roll of the dice for Patrick Nielsen. Because he's come out in spirited fashion to begin round number 4, but the corner are going to have to work assiduously to prevent that eye from getting worse.
The quality of his punches just aren't the same as Ryder. Ryder, for me, much better, higher quality work from him. The accuracy of his shot, the snap in his punch, and the accuracy of, are all with Ryder. And Nielsen's just struggling, isn't he, with that jab? It doesn't really get home.
He was a real star up in Denmark, is Patrick Nielsen. A few years ago, he was featured on various reality shows. Talk of him inheriting the mantle that the Viking warrior Mikkel Kessler held with such distinction for so long on the world stage in the super middleweight division. He's got that #1 ranking. He's unraveling in pretty alarming fashion here in London tonight. The best name on his record is Rudy Markussen, a former 2-time world title challenger, but Markussen was 35 going into that grudge contest, and it was a rather bizarre ending when he was effectively counted out on his feet. But he didn't complain when he was stopped, Markussen, and now Nielsen looking a little bit ragged as he tries to go in pursuit of his man. Ryder looking composed and poised.
He's looking composed, and again, just another demonstration there from Nielsen of the quality and the inaccuracy of his punches. His punches just missing the target. He's not getting home with anything. Can't keep his man at bay. It's so important when you're throwing that, when you're boxing at distance, you're throwing out that jab. It's got to hit the target. If it misses, you're in trouble.
Fortsæt med det jab. Ind, ud, ind, ud. Ikke stående. Er vi enige? Ja. Godt. Den der bliver på plads. Ja. Ikke? Må ikke tabe den. Han går bare og venter på, at du angriber. Ja, så kommer han igen. Kan du se det? Ja. Ikke? Kom lidt over til venstre. Ja. Se, at du må slå den ind over. Men lad være at trække den. He ain't got no speed. He misses all over the place. You've got to capitalise on him. You know what I mean? Yeah. And let's get back on the jab again. Fast jab. Yeah. Little feints as well.
Get better work from John Ryder. He uses his shoulder very well. I mean, that's lovely work there with his shoulder, the way he's avoiding shots. Nielsen not hitting the target. Ryder coming through with a good jab there.
Seconds out, round 5.
Going to the 5th round then. Patrick Nielsen shooting out that jab to begin this 5th stanza. But he's surely got to do something, implement some type of adaptive strategy, because what he's tried to this point, well, for my money, is coming out a distant second best here. Floored in the 2nd round. right before the bell to conclude that 3 minutes of action. Ryder continues to pick his punches with patience. Heard during the interval his chief strategist Tony Sims telling him to get back on the jab and use the feints, exploit the edge, the clear and demonstrable edge that he has in speed over Patrick Nielson. Taylor the tape suggests that Nielson enjoys a 3-inch advantage in height, but Ryder's right jab has been the more effective of the 2 straight lead shots.
Yeah, Tony Sims knows his boxer inside out, and it's good coaching from him, saying you get back behind your jab, set up the opportunities and openings. That's what he wants from him. The jab is the most basic of punches, but it sets up everything else, does it? Especially the rear hand and the way he's moving in with the feet and the accuracy with that the left uppercut and the right hook from Ryder. Up to now, for me, he's won every round. Nielson, he's throwing plenty, but he's just not hitting the target.
Punches are looking languid in comparison to the speed on Ryder's shots as well. Devoid of accuracy. And really not making life difficult for John Ryder. Ryder maneuvers his man back to the ropes once again. Nielson forced to hold on. And it's difficult to discern, without wishing to be unkind, exactly what tactics he's trying to implement here. Here's a right jab, but again, not much speed on it, and it's coming back in ponderous fashion. That's a little sharper from the man in the solid black trunks. So crucial that Ryder doesn't allow Nielson to grow in confidence and get his way back into the contest. Nielson just trying to get some dynamism into his work by getting up on his toes here in this 5th round.
I don't think Nielson's actually got the power, Ronald, to trouble Ryder. I really don't. He certainly hasn't got the accuracy in his work, and Ryder has got the confidence. And yet Ryder, for me, he's a fairly small super middle, isn't he? I mean, he could probably still make the middleweight division, John Ryder. At a push. Certainly Nielson. Oh, what a punch.
Nielson is out. And this fight is going to be over. The mouthpiece dislodged.
6, 7.
The bell is gone to end round
9, 10.
number 5. But in the 5th round, John Ryder has produced the biggest victory of his career with a devastating finish over the #1 ranked WBA contender, Patrick Nielson. Stopped for the first time in his career. He suffers his 2nd career defeat, but there is absolute jubilation over in that red corner because the accurate punch picking of John Ryder has paid handsome dividends here at the SSE Wembley Arena tonight. He dropped his man in the 2nd round. He continued to outbox him after that period, and then in the closing stages of round number 5, he uncorked another combination which left Nielson defenseless and on unsteady legs, and the final shot drove him down to the canvas, and he has been counted out. John Ryder with the best win of his career, and he has just catapulted himself into the consciousness of the global super middleweight scene. A terrific display. John Ryder, so often the bridesmaid, the man who to this point in his career has lost every time he stepped up for a big contest, and how he has seized this opportunity here tonight.
What a performance, what a right hook that was. Nielson actually looking at his gum shield, he's going to try and pick it up, but quite right, John Ryder just kept on punching, but to start that all off, it was the right hook, wasn't it? Let's have a look at here. What a peach of a punch that was. And then he just carries on. There's that left hand. 2 good shots went in there. I think Nielson looking at his gum shield all over the place, but what a performance that was from John Ryder. And it was coming, wasn't it, Ronald? Because at the end of the day, Ryder caught Nielson with shot after shot. Throughout this contest, the better work came from Ryder on the inside with his left uppercut especially, and that right hook. His timing, his accuracy and his power was spot on tonight, John Ryder. That is a terrific performance, it really is.
Patrick Nielson still being tended to over in his blue corner, but John Ryder saw the opportunity, and once he had his man going, he was relentless. And this was the moment of realization when the referee, Bob Williams, waved the contest over. John Ryder scaling the ropes and acknowledging the support that he's received from his fans here at the SS Wembley Arena. Well, we said what an opportunity this was for John Ryder as he made his way to the boxing ring. Nielson, the WBA #1 contender, and that puts this man surely squarely in the frame to face off against Tyron Zoiga, the WBA regular champion, after taking this man's scalp with a hard-hitting, accurate display of sharpshooting and punch-picking. Congratulations to John Ryder, who has just reversed that trend of losing every time that he stepped up. But we posed the question during the contest, how big a step up did this represent? Because the way that Ryder boxed, you wouldn't know who was the WBA #1 ranked contender. Such was this man's superiority throughout the contest.
Absolutely, it was a good display, and the way he did it, the way he worked behind his jab, the use of his shoulder to avoid shots, the way he got on the inside. There was some brilliant inside work there from Ryder, and that should be appreciated. This game isn't about hitting and moving, all about hitting and moving at distance. You know, you've got to appreciate fighters who fight on the inside like that, and that was a terrific display. And a great demonstration of short and mid-range power boxing there from John Ryder. Terrific stuff.
Well, good to see Patrick Nielsen up on his feet. Let's get the official verdict.
3 minutes and 8 seconds in the round #5. Your winner by count out, the Gorilla, John Ryder. Let's also hear for Patrick Nielsen.
Wow, that is the win of John Ryder's life, no question about that. Isn't it amazing, Duke? He cannot win the British title. He keeps trying, and yet he has just comprehensively dismantled the WBA #1 contender.
Well, I actually think he was